Welcome to the part 3 video of the unit solutions. In my previous video, we have discussed about the solubility of a solid in liquid. Today, I am discussing the solubility of a gas in liquid. Solubility of a gas in liquid and the effects of different properties such as nature, temperature and pressure. Okay. Nature, definitely, as we discussed in our previous video, it is the polar or non-polar natures of solute and solvent. Anyway, let me consider an example here. A gas present above the surface of liquid. It exists in equilibrium with the surface molecules of liquid. There will be a slight solubility because of the natural factors, environmental factors. Now, the molecules of gas possess high kinetic energy than the molecules of liquid. When the kinetic energy is decreased, there will be more possibility of solubility of gas in liquid. Then how to achieve that depends upon these three factors. Okay, let us consider two simple examples, where I would say HCl gas dissolved in H2O liquid. Similarly, O2 gas dissolved in H2O liquid. In these two cases, in HCl, in case of HCl in water, HCl is a polar molecule, water is a polar liquid. So the solubility will be high because of the greater intermolecular forces of attraction, particularly in this case the hydrogen bonding that is developed between H of HCl and O of H2O. Because of this, the solubility of HCl in water will be very high. When compared to the second case, that is oxygen in water, O2 molecules are non-polar. They are less soluble in water. And just relating these two, O2 is less soluble in water than HCl its solubility in water. Okay. So the nature of the solute, when we say, the conclusion is simple. Like substance dissolves in like. This is the conclusion from the first factor. That is, when the natures are same, when the polarity or non-polarity are same, then the solubility will be more. That is the effect of nature of substance. The second point is effect of temperature. As we have seen in the previous case, that is solid in liquid case, the solubility of solid in liquid was varying with temperature in two different ways based on whether the solution is endothermic or exothermic. I just want to give a small revision of that. When solid is dissolved in liquid, we had two cases where delta H positive, which is endothermic, and delta H negative, which is exothermic cases were there. Okay. In these two cases, we said solubility is directly proportional to temperature. Solubility is inversely proportional to temperature. It is very easy to remember also. There is a simple shortcut here. Please understand this. When there is the value positive, delta H positive, positive nature means what? It is a direct relation. Positivity, it's a direct relation. Negativity, inverse relation, opposite relation. So it is easy to remember also in case of solid in liquid. Unlike this, the solubility of gas in liquid varies with respect to temperature in only one way. We do not consider exothermic or endothermic here because it is gas in liquid. And the explanation is very simple. Suppose this system is kept on a heater or burner. Imagine the condition. Now, the dissolved gas molecules in this solvent or solution, they evolve out because of the increase of temperature, because temperature directly increases kinetic energy of gas molecules, and therefore the gaseous molecules escape out of the system. Now what is the final meaning? What happens to the solubility with temperature? On increasing temperature, solubility decreased. Therefore, we say that solubility of a gas in liquid is inversely proportional to temperature. We don't have two cases here. There is only one relationship between temperature and solubility of gas in liquid. Solubility is inversely proportional to temperature. This is an important point. Please understand this. Let me move on to the third effect, that is effect of pressure. Effect of pressure. Imagine in the same case of solution, I have made an arrangement of piston externally to apply pressure on the gas present above the surface. If I apply pressure on the gas, what happens to the solubility? As you have applied pressure on the gas molecules, molecules enter into the solution. That means the solubility will increase. On releasing the pressure, the gas comes out. Just like in the example of fizzy drinks. You have seen those cold drinks where you remove the cap, suddenly there will be a rush of air. Some gas is released. What is that gas? It is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide gas will be dissolved in that solution by applying the pressure. On applying pressure, it was soluble. You released it by opening the cap. So suddenly the gas dissolved came out. And that is the effect of pressure on solubility. Therefore, our conclusion is solubility of a gas in liquid is directly proportional to pressure on the gas. Based on this observation, the great scientist Henry proposed a law called Henry's law. Before discussing the Henry's law, let us conclude these 3 points about solubility of gas in liquid. As mentioned earlier, effect of nature. What does it say? Like dissolves in like. Polar solute is more soluble in polar solvent, non-polar is soluble in non-polar solvent, polar is less soluble in non-polar solvent. Likewise. The second point was effect of temperature. Effect of temperature, we simply said solubility is inversely proportional to temperature. The third point is effect of pressure, where we said solubility is directly proportional to pressure. These are the important points regarding the concept of solubility of gas in liquid. Please understand these because many such questions have been asked in different exams. Okay, now let us see what is Henry's law and its statement explanations. Henry's law states that the solubility of a gas in liquid is directly proportional to the partial pressure of the gas. Please remember this. This is partial pressure of the gas. Why I am saying this is because in the vapor state, even the vapors of liquid will be present. But we are talking only about partial pressure of the gas above the surface of liquid at constant temperature. Once again, even this point is very important. If you vary the temperature, solubility varies. That we have seen just now. Okay? At constant temperature, the solubility of gas in liquid is directly proportional to the partial pressure of the gas above the surface of liquid, which can be given by this expression. You can see X is directly proportional to P, where this X symbol is mole fraction. Why mole fraction? Because it is a unit of concentration. And why we are taking unit of concentration? Just before this video, I have told you clearly that concentration and solubility both have same unit. They represent the concentration only. So, X is mole fraction. That is directly proportional to P. If this is true, even this is true, just reverse it. P is proportional to X. And I have converted this expression into an equation. P is equal to KH into X, where KH is called Henry's constant. There are a lot of specialities of Henry's constant. This is not any universal constant like your universal gas constant. It has a definite number, or Avogadro's number, which is a definite number. KH is not like that definite number. It has various values for different gases. KH value of different gases are different. Please understand these points here. KH value of different gases are different. At the same time, KH value of a gas at different temperature will be different. That's why we mention constant temperature. Imagine O2. O2 gas will have its own KH value. CO2 gas will have its own KH value. KH dash, let us say. The values are not same. KH of O2 is different. KH of CO2 is different. At the same time, KH value of O2 at 25 degrees centigrade is different, and the same O2 at 30 degrees centigrade will be different. Which means for the same gas at different temperatures, the values are different. For different gases, the values are different. Then why do we call it constant? For that particular case, it is a constant. It does not vary. Okay, this is about the Henry's law. We have to see the applications of Henry's law as well. Okay. Okay, let us see some of the applications of Henry's law. As I told you, according to Henry's law, pressure has a direct effect on the solubility of a gas in liquid. So, one of the applications is carbon dioxide dissolved in fizzy drinks. Just now I was telling you, carbon dioxide will be dissolved in those fizzy drinks by applying pressure. As you apply pressure on the gas, it dissolves in the water or the solution. When the pressure is released, that dissolved carbon dioxide evolves out. That is one of the applications. Second is the concept of bends. This is a disorder that was faced by scuba divers. Scuba divers, the deep sea divers. Usually the deep sea divers in the earlier days, they used to carry a breathing cylinder, the air cylinder along with them into water. When they entered into water, the mixture of nitrogen and oxygen gas present in the cylinder used to enter inside the blood or blood vessels. And nitrogen gas along with oxygen used to dissolve inside the blood because the water pressure inside the water will be higher than in the normal atmosphere. So nitrogen gas also along with oxygen used to dissolve in blood. When the person comes to the surface out of water, all of a sudden there will be a change in the pressure. Inside water there will be a greater pressure, and as he enters into normal atmosphere, the pressure would reduce. At that condition, the dissolved nitrogen in the blood used to rush out just like carbon dioxide coming out of the fizzy drink. And that used to create bubbles in the nerves or the blood vessels, which used to cause a different difficult case called bends. Sometimes persons used to die. To avoid this, they took advantage of Henry's law. Because now we know that pressure increases the solubility. If at all we avoid the solubility of nitrogen gas solubility in blood, we can avoid the disorder bends. So they thought and found a solution where they started using about 11 to 12% of helium in the mixture of N2 and O2. Nitrogen and oxygen used to be there in the cylinder. Along with these two gases, they started mixing 11 to 12% of helium, which used to avoid the solubility of nitrogen in blood and sudden rush of nitrogen gas from the blood when the person comes out from the water. This is one of the advantageous applications of Henry's law. Then finally, anoxia. This is a disorder faced by people who are having altophobia. People going to higher altitudes, they feel nervous. They suffer from breathing problem. That is because as you move to higher altitudes, the atmospheric pressure will be reduced. When the pressure is reduced, the solubility of oxygen in blood decreases. And so they face different problems like breathing problem, and they start feeling nervous, so on. And such a problem is anoxia. When you understand this, you can take care before something bad happens. So these are the applications of Henry's law. Please keep in mind these things. One important point for the examination I want to tell you here, and that is about the values of KH. Imagine KH value of a gas A is greater than KH value of a gas B. Now the question will be, which is more soluble? KH value of gas A is greater than KH value of B. Which gas is more soluble? As we know Henry's law, partial pressure is equal to KH into X. Okay. Now cross multiply this x to the LHS. You will get partial pressure by x is equal to KH, and the final relation here is KH has an inverse relationship with the solubility. So what is the meaning? If the KH is greater, solubility is lower. Therefore, solubility of A is lesser than solubility of B. Such questions we have seen in different exams. Please understand this concept. If the gas has greater KH, its solubility will be lesser. That is the final conclusion. So these are some of the applications of Henry's law. Please keep in mind. Now let us see what is the meaning of partial pressure. We generally know there is vapor pressure always when a liquid is present in the normal atmosphere. Because of the evaporation, some of the molecules present on the surface, they escape from the surface and form a cloud above the surface, and they exert a kind of pressure on the surface of liquid, and that pressure is called vapor pressure. Now I am talking about the same vapor pressure in a mixture. Imagine there are two volatile liquids. When I say volatile, you can understand it is highly evaporative. That means the liquid evaporates. I have two such evaporative liquids. In a mixture of that, there will be definitely vapor. Okay, vapors are from both A and B. Vapors of A I have indicated in red color. Here you can see A. They exert a pressure PA on the surface of solution. Similarly, vapors of B present here in the blue color, they exert a pressure PB. That vapor pressure PB or PA depends directly on what is the proportion of A or B present in the solution. I would say like this: the vapor pressure or the partial pressure of B in this mixture will be directly proportional to its proportion in the solution. So can I say XB, mole fraction of B? How much ever B is in solution, depending on that, so much partial pressure will be there in mixture. If the A is considered, partial pressure of A, this depends directly on A, that is mole fraction of A. I mean to say 10 ml A, 90 ml B. Imagine this condition. Amount of A in solution is lesser. Definitely even in the vapor state, amount of A vapors will be lesser. If it is 50-50, 50 ml A, 50 ml B, the vapors of A and B will also have 50-50 proportion. That's what the relation here says. Pressure of that component depends on its proportion in the mixture. Okay? This relationship is also known as a famous law, Raoult's law. This is our next concept, Raoult's law. In Raoult's law, PB is proportional to XB, PA is proportional to XA. I have given you two other things here also, and that represent A in pure state will have P naught A, that is pressure of the pure vapors of A, and pure vapors of B, P naught B. So these are the individual cases, and this is the mixture case. Raoult's law is applicable for the mixture case of two volatile liquids. It is very similar to Henry's law statement, very similar to Henry's law. We say the partial pressure of a component in a mixture of two volatile liquids is directly proportional to its mole fraction in the solution. That applications, expansion, details of Raoult's law and types of solutions, ideal and non-ideal solutions, all these things we are going to discuss in our next video. Thank you very much.